Hi. Um, my note cards. Hi, everyone. I want you to imagine something. You work hard all season in your sport. You wake up early and you practice every day since you can remember. Maybe you miss out a hangout with your friends because you have practice or maybe even a game. Most of all, you feel tired. However, you keep going because you care about your sport and your team. After all this, it's finally time for a game. You feel excited, but maybe a little nervous. You want to do your best in your sport and impress everyone. However, when that time comes, you encounter an athlete that is genetically more privileged. The frustration that comes out of this unfair advantage is unbearable. Who would agree to this kind of competition? That's why today I want to talk about why every school should implement rules that ensure safety, fairness, and respect. Now, one big problem is that sports rules are not always the same everywhere. Some schools have one set of rules of their sports, and other schools may differ. Even different leagues can have different sports rules. This can make people confused and even frustrated with the many confusing aspects to what makes a sport fair. For example, one team might think they're following the rules of their sport, another team might disagree about the rules of their sport. Then, focusing on the game, people start arguing about the rules. Athletes might not know what to expect in their sport, and coaches might not agree on some of the rules either. This takes away from the fun of not competing, but also seeing your outcome reflect on your hard work. These confusing rules can be easily bent and rephrased to be exclusive for certain athletes. So why does this problem happen in sports? One reason is that sports are not simple. At first, sports seem easy. You just try to win your sport. When you really think about it, there's a lot of things considered in a sport. They're based on trying to be fair. They also are trying to include everyone in their sport. Sometimes those two goals don't match perfectly. That makes things complicated. Another reason is that people have opinions and don't always listen to each other about the rules. When people stop listening, they stop understanding. When they stop understanding, it becomes hard to find a solution that works for everybody. Also, different schools make their decisions so there is no clear system that everyone follows in sports. This means one place might do things one way in their sports, and one school might do another. That makes things more confusing for athletes who compete in different places in their sports. So, what can we do about this problem in sports today? I believe schools should create fair rules for sports that focus on three main things: fairness, safety, and respect. First, rules should look at fairness in their sport. This means making sure no team has an advantage in their sport. School could look at things like skill level, age, and physical ability. When organizing teams for their sports, for example, younger or less experienced players should have to compete against older or stronger players in their sport. Like these advantages and disadvantages, the same apply for different biological genders competing against each other. Second, the rules should focus on safety in their sport. Sports can already be intense and sometimes even dangerous. That's why it's essential that all players are safe when they compete in their sport. If players differ in physical abilities and clear strength advantage, this safety could very well be as good as gone. Clear rules for this matter can help prevent injuries and make sure everyone is protected in their sport. Third, the rules should show respect in their sport. Everyone who wants to play sports should feel respected and valued in their sport. No one should feel left out, ignored, or treated badly. Sports should bring people together, not push them away. Schools could also ask experts to help, like coaches, doctors, and sports scientists, to make rules. These people understand sports and genetic advantages. This can help create fair decisions for the rules. They can look at facts, not opinions. Another idea is to create divisions or categories if needed in their sport. That's why more people can compete in a way that feels fair in their sport. For example, some sports already have levels like beginner, intermediate, and advanced in their sport. This helps make games more balanced and enjoyable in their sport. We could also make rules are clearly explained to everyone in their sport. If athletes, coaches, and parents all understand the rules of their sport, there will be confusion and fewer arguments about their sport. Now might be thinking, why does this really matter in sports? It matters because sports are supposed to teach us things. Sports teach teamwork, hard work, discipline, and respect in their sport. They teach us how to win with pride, and lose with grace in their sport. Also, when people feel like things are unfair in their sport, they might want to quit. That means fewer people get to enjoy sports and all good things that come with them, like making friends and staying healthy in their sport. On the other hand, when rules are clear and fair, people feel more confident and happy. They can focus on doing their best instead of worrying about problems. Games become more exciting. Everyone has a better experience in their sport. In conclusion, sports should be a place where people grow, have fun, and feel proud of their effort in their sport. Sports should bring people together, not divide them. Without clear and fair rules, it's easy for problems and arguments to happen in their sport. That's why I believe schools should create sports policies and balance fairness, safety, and respect for everyone in their sport. If we do this, sports can be enjoyable, more fair, and more meaningful for everybody involved in the sport. So next time when you watch play sport, think about this. Wouldn't it be better if everyone felt like they had a fair chance in their sport? Thank you.